Trump absolutely went on a romp. I'm rhyming today. That's what we doing. We freestyling. Yo. Y'all know I will freestyle, right? J Max 9 says, if you was in Cali, AD, you wouldn't be playing them gang games with your daughter, bro. Jesus Christ. Y'all too tough for me. Y'all the toughest. Y'all are so tough. Y'all tough with y'all kids, huh? Y'all butt back booling on y'all kids, huh? Y'all banging on gang with y'all kids now, huh? Y'all are the toughest people that I've ever seen in my entire life. Good God, bless us. Lord, have mercy. You wouldn't be banging like that with your daughter inside your household if you was over here in Cali, cuz. We're going to bring California to the front of the conversation. I'm just saying, cuz. I'm just saying, bruh. Family. Calm down, cowboy. Calm down, cowboy. Woo! Y'all thugs even on the Millionaire Morning Show. Y'all thugs even on the Millionaire Morning Show, even in the chat when you subscribed, huh? Let me back up. I want to make sure that I don't play those games inside of my household with my daughter. Jesus Christ. Come on, man. Lighten up. It's a Tuesday. It's cold outside. Trump, Vivek, let's get back to the Millionaire Morning Show, y'all. Jesus Christ.
We begin this morning on the big news last night of what was simultaneously a big night and a foregone conclusion for former President Donald Trump in the Iowa caucuses. CBS News projects that Trump got 51% of the Republican vote in the Hawkeye state, even more than expected. It is a historic landslide victory. As for the race for the very distant second place, Ron DeSantis beat Nikki Haley just barely. And those results are enough to keep them both on the campaign trail. But Vivek Ramaswamy's run is over.
The businessman suspended his campaign after finishing fourth. Tony is in Des Moines leading our coverage. He's at the Smoky Row Coffee House. I love the name of that place. And last night, he was inside a caucus room as people's handwritten notes were counted. That was fascinating to watch, Tony. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Gail. Good morning, everyone. It's one of the most charming traditions in American politics, those handwritten pencil ballots here in Iowa. And we are now one step closer to that Biden-Trump rematch that very few voters seem to want. And speaking of very few voters, last night's turnout was the lowest in at least a decade. Get this, just 15% of registered Republicans participated. Still, we got to say it was a decisive win that gives the frontrunner momentum and also helps him with that storyline he's been pushing, one of inevitability. Our experience last night was in Polk County. We were at a caucus site where no doubt the cold and the ice kept some people away. But the presence of Donald Trump in the race also brought some voters out. In fact, we saw dozens of Democrats and independents at our site switch their party registration so they could participate and cast a vote for a Trump alternative, according to the caucus chair, who said they actually ran out of paperwork to accommodate everyone. They had to run out to someone's house and get more.
It's very interesting that people are that evil to where they would switch parties in order to try to cast a vote against Trump. But see, what you know what that tells me? That tells me, and I'm actually going to play his speech or try to play the relevant parts of his speech because I haven't seen it yet. That tells me that they fear him. They fear him. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. And so that's when they start. So even when you see the votes that was cast for Nikki Haley or DeSantis, you actually see a wider gap between Trump and them when you take into consideration that there were people that were Democrats that basically switched their party just to be able to vote on behalf of his competition. And it's really weird because you can see that they don't trust the regular election process. And that's why they wrote them on paper and they hand counted them. They wrote them on paper and they hand counted them. And he hasn't participated in one debate. He's been sitting there on trial. and he absolutely mopped the floor with everybody. Vivek decided that he wanted to jump out of the race, and he threw 100% of his 100% of his support behind Trump. In this speech, it's basically saying Trump is calling for unity after a victory over in Iowa. And I'm going to be honest with you. I believe that Vivek will probably be the best vice president for Trump. If it wasn't for Trump, then I would absolutely be looking at Vivek as probably the alternative option for the person that I would vote for president of the United States. Of course, I would never vote for Nikki Haley. I don't think that DeSantis is bad. If Greg Abbott was in it, it would be a different conversation. But I think that it's interesting that you're actually seeing the cracks and more people culturally, black, white, across the board. I don't think that this could have been a better setup. I'm actually very glad that it played out the way that it played out, and that Trump won, then he lost, so you can see what you would have gotten in Biden, because a lot of people would then go back and say, well, if we had Biden, no, you got him. So now you get to see exactly who it is that you voted for and what your circumstances could have been. I think that it's going to be a wash. I believe that this upcoming presidential election, and that's why you see all of this underhanded stuff, people switching parties in order to try to vote in an election that they're not even supposed to vote in. You see them trying to remove him off the ballots, 91 different charges over in Georgia from the crooked DA. Colorado tried to remove him. I think that you actually seeing the cracks in the foundation. You're starting to see the cracks in the foundation. Just me. Let's go into this speech and see what he had to say.
I want to thank everybody. This has been some period of time, and most importantly, we want to thank the great people of Iowa. Thank you. We love you all. What a turnout, what a crowd. And I really think this is time now for everybody, our country, to come together. We want to come together. Whether it's Republican or Democrat or liberal or conservative, it would be so nice if we could come together and straighten out the world and straighten out the problems and straighten out all of the death and destruction that we're witnessing. That's practically never been like this. It's just so important, and I want to make that a very big part of our message. We're going to come together. It's going to happen soon, too. It's going to happen soon. I want to thank some of the great people. We have so many senators. If I go through every name, we'll be here all night, and everybody's going to get angry at me. But the senators, the congressmen from Washington, they came down from all different states. I want to thank you very much. I want to congratulate Ron and Nikki for having a good time together. We're all having a good time together. And
he trolled them. He said, listen, I want to thank Ron and Nikki for over there wasting y'all time with votes and knowing that they couldn't beat me. They just over there playing games. They just having a good time together. Let them go ahead and play in the mud. Talk to him, Trump.
I think they both actually did very well. I really do. I think they both did very well. We don't even know what the outcome of second place is. And I see Carrie Lake. Congratulations, Carrie. Very good. I spotted her, I have to announce, because she's terrific. She's going to be a senator, a great senator, I predict, right? You're going to be a great senator. And I also want to congratulate Vivek, because he did a hell of a job. He came from 0, and he's got a big percent, probably 8%, almost 8%, and that's an amazing job. They all did. They're all very smart people, very capable people. I think most importantly, I want to thank my incredible wife, First Lady, I'll say former and maybe future. But more important than Melania, I want to thank her incredible, beautiful mother who passed away a few days ago. And she's up there, way up there. She's looking down, and she's so proud of us. And I just want to say to Amalia, you are special, one of the most special people I've ever known. And that was a tough period of time for the family, but she done for our family. But he's going to be okay. Victor, they're great people, great. Baron, boy, did she take care of Baron. That's my family, good people. I mean, good people. They really did. These two have been working so hard, and they have another job also, so they have to do it all, but they've been working so hard, and I know that Ivanka is home and Tiffany's home, they're watching, and I know that Baron's watching, good old Baron. He's I said, "You're going to be a basketball player." He said, "Well, I like soccer, Dad, actually." I said, "At your height, I like basketball better, but sometimes you can't talk them into everything." But he's a special boy. But the whole family is just incredible. And my sister, Elizabeth, who's just the biggest fan. She's just an incredible person and always supportive. We love Elizabeth so much. Same thing with the Congress, men and women. We have tremendous, much more than anybody probably has ever had in this position. And we love them all. They're great. They're really trying to do a good job for our country. But one woman in Iowa who really stepped up was your Attorney General, Brenna Byrd. She really, really stepped up. Where is Brenna? Come here. Be your governor someday, I predict. So we'll see. We'll see. And she had tremendous. You made it. I call him the Marlboro Man. Mr. Chairman, I want to thank you for being here. You are who is a brilliant guy. Me on the other side twice already, right? Then he decided to do it, and he was outstanding. But the traction is never easy, right? You need controversy for traction sometimes, and this guy is the most solid guy. There's no controversy whatsoever, and he's.
You know what you see what he does? A lot of people are not familiar with this, but do you see what he's doing? He's working the room. He's working the room. He's literally preparing himself, and he's working the room, and so he's basically setting up his alliances. He's getting people to work in his favor. He's making sure that he has everybody in his good graces. He's networking. He's working the room.
He's one of the best governors in our country, and I hope that I'm going to be able to call on him to be a piece of the administration, a very important piece of the administration. And also, just to conclude with this, the entire Trump team, and that includes my two boys who are really here all the time, whenever we needed them. Whenever we needed them. They are great, Eric and Don. And look at all these people. Oh, Susie, I have to say. And Chris.
Dude is so smart.
And they want no accolades. They just want a victory, and they want to make America great again. That's all they want, actually. They don't want to be speaking. They don't want to have pictures. They just want to do their job, right? I want to thank you very much, Jason, everybody. You're really fantastic. What a job you've done. Thank you. So we're going to come together. We're going to drill, baby, drill right away. Yeah. Drill, baby, drill. We're going to seal up the border. Because right now we have an invasion. We have an invasion of millions and millions of people that are coming into our country. I can't imagine why they think that's a good thing. It's a very bad thing. I think it's a group of people that are probably larger in number than New York State. And we can't have that. We can't have that. It's not sustainable as a country. It's horrible. And you know, they're coming from prisons and jails. They're coming from all over. They're coming from countries that most people have never heard of. And they're coming from mental institutions and insane asylums. They're being emptied out into our country. And they're terrorists. Many terrorists are coming in. You know, in 2019, I saw just recently on a poll, they had none in 2019, no terrorists. Now, I even say there's got to be some, but they have none. And then as soon as this group took over, they have hundreds and hundreds of terrorists coming in, known terrorists, some of them really bad. And many of them are in, and they came in, and nobody knows where they are. This is not a good thing. And we're going to.
We know where they are. They over in Chicago, Denver, and New York. They hanging out. They getting free meals. They getting free schooling. They making sure that they get free shelter, health care coverage. They're getting work visas, and they having a good time. They're having a good time. Shout out to Executive Suite, Emma Lee. I'm going to read that super chat shortly, and Mike Jones.
We're going to have a deportation level that we haven't seen in this country for a long time, since Dwight Eisenhower, actually. So I don't want to be overly rough on the president. But I have to say that he is the worst president that we've had in the history of our country. He's destroying our country.
I don't necessarily disagree with that. Is Biden the worst president? Where would you rank Biden? Because I know that it's a lot of y'all. I've seen some of y'all come up on my show on Friday and you say, oh, Anton, I would absolutely vote for Biden. And I say, okay, well, why? Help me to understand, because I'm not necessarily trying to convince you otherwise. I just want to make sure that you're an informed voter. Well, what do you mean? What do you mean, what do I mean? Why do you think that he's a good president? Why did you vote for him? Why would you vote for him again? Oh, I just don't like Trump. I don't like the fact of what he represents. I don't like that, the way he talks. Well, what does that have to do with whether or not you like Biden? What do you like about him? What do you like about him? I mean, what is there not to like about him? He was Obama's right-hand man. Oh, okay, I got you. I see which one of y'all are.
And, my wife attended the funeral 2 months ago of Rosalind Carter, and it was beautiful. And Jimmy Carter was there, and I thought to myself, Jimmy Carter is happy now because he will go down as being a brilliant president by comparison to Joe Biden. He'll be a brilliant president. He's going to be known as brilliant by comparison. So we have to stop the invasion. We have to bring down our energy. We have to, I say all the time, we have more liquid gold under our feet than any other nation anywhere in the world. And we have to stop the crime, and we have to help rebuild our cities, and we have to rebuild the Capitol, Washington, D.C. I was there on one of the Biden indictment trials. This is the only person this never happened before, but I go to a lot of courthouses because of Biden, because they're using that for election interference. And it's on things like election. And I don't know if you know, but they did polls tonight on the election of 2020. Do you believe it was honest or not? 82% said it was not. And we can't have that, Chairman. We can't have that. You can't have a situation.
I went over to Washington. This is enough. I've seen what I need to see. This was his I did well speech, right? I went over to Washington recently. I've been over there twice within the last 2 years. And I flew into Washington, D.C. And if you go and tour all of the different streets around the White House, it's actually pretty crazy to see. You know what you see around the White House? Around all of the streets, around the neighborhoods that's around the White House? You know what you actually see? Tent cities. Tents everywhere. I don't know if y'all visited D.C. recently and you went and toured anywhere around the White House, because I like to participate and see what's happening inside of the cities. And it's homelessness everywhere. And you would think that this has got to be impossible. There's no way that we could sit here and look at this nonsense. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how many blue tents that I seen all over the city. It was crazy. I didn't expect for my first time and second time seeing that right on top. Now, then you go over to the White House, because I did go and visit the White House. I'm a tourist. I like to see everything. I want to see what's happening in the hoods. I want to see what's happening around it. And I want to see what's happening at the White House, right? You go over to the White House, and yes, Skid Row around the White House. If you go over to the White House, you walk over, and you can see the snipers walking on the roof, and they all around, and the police, and then you see crazy people protesting. It looked like a movie. It looks like a movie. And then you can go over to the Cheesecake Factory, which I'm guessing that women don't want you to go on dates no more. Me and Rita, we went to the Cheesecake Factory the first time that we went to D.C. And it looks like a movie. It looks like, and we actually got invited to actually be able to tour the White House, which we never followed up on that. I'm going to have to check into that because I forgot about that. But it looks like a movie. It was the craziest thing that I had ever seen in my entire life around the President of the United States of America. I couldn't believe it. I was so confused. I didn't understand it. Why is there so many homeless people around the White House? Is this not what we need to be paying attention to so that we can see what the pulse of the country look like? But it was amazing. It was insane all at the same time. And I was appreciative of being exposed to what the truth is versus what you see on TV.